This also goes for every Trinbagonian who want to live in a foreign land. Now is the time to come home and do something instead of staying out there and freezing. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister.
Come, let us walk hand in hand, my brother, because this is our land. We must work to make it better. We must work to transform it in such a way that our children and children will benefit, will get a place way better than we got it. We have to enhance it. We must make it better. I want to welcome you to the Dynamic Hour. We're off to a late start this morning, but for many good reasons. I want to say to those who are viewing me on Facebook and on YouTube, please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to big up all the people who are listening to the program via Vibes 106.3 FM and 101.3 FM. Spread the word about the program, because more people get to listen to the program is more the information will get to great many people here in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and out there in the diaspora. This morning, we will be speaking to the Honorable Andy Williams. He will give us an update on the whole temporary teachers payment issue and where it's at, because we believe that it is important, or that's important for you to know, getting the facts from the source. So we will speak to him this morning. Then we will speak to the Honorable Philip Telesford, the Minister of Health. He will speak to a number of things briefly. We will speak to a number of things briefly. So again, I want to encourage you to share the live, so as many people as possible will get the chance to listen in to the program, because I think it's important, very important, that people get to hear the truth from the source or sources, right? Because I think that is what we all are looking for, the truth. So what I will try to do at this point is to connect with the Honorable Andy Williams firstly, and he will speak to a number of things, but specifically he will focus on the whole teacher issue, right? The temporary teachers. I think it's about 25 temporary teachers. And folks, do not be fooled. Information is out there, thrown out there, giving people the impression that we are talking about 100 teachers or 50 teachers or 60. We are talking about 25 teachers or so. All right? We're talking about 25 teachers or so. So I will try to reach him. And once I get him, he will chit-chat with us. He will talk to us about this, because it is important. We want to know what is going on where that is concerned, because we're concerned. All right? We are concerned about the teachers. We want good for the teachers, because we know teachers are hardworking. And I stated last night that, the teachers, they need to get their money. I discovered this morning it's just about 25 teachers or so. But they need to get their money. And I think we have some good news. So I'm trying to reach the Honorable Andy Williams so he can give me a little update there. All right. So once he does, right. So it's just a little, right. Somebody say just about 20 something teachers. All right. All right. It's more than 20, right? Just about 20 something teachers. I understand from my information, temporary teachers, from what I understand. All right. So trying to get the Honorable Andy Williams there. All right. So we're trying to get him. So once we get him, he will update us. He will update us on. All right. So he told me to give him about 5 minutes. Give him about 5 minutes, and we will take it from there. But again, saying it's just a little above 25 teachers or so, and they're temporary. They're temporary. So it's not a lot of teachers, but they're temporary. And let me explain how they become temporary. So you have teachers who are permanent. They would go on study leave and other leave. And then you would have those who would come in and replace. They would come in and, act temporarily for those teachers. And that is how they become temporary teachers. So again, just letting you know that. That is what normally happens. So a teacher might be on sick leave. A teacher might be, studying, and they need to get a temporary teacher in. So again, just saying to you, it's important that you know that. All right? That's how they become temporary. That's how they become temporary. Nice. I think they're making more out of this than what really is. And we know why they're making this a biggie. And it's not the teachers that really making it a biggie, yeah? It's the NNP. Because the NNP believes if they can make the teachers believe that they're on their side, temporary teachers, huh? They're not permanent teachers. They're temporary because they're filling in for a teacher who's on leave and they're on contract, and their contract would be renewed over a period of time. So once it expires, it will be renewed and they would keep going. All right. But the NNP, they want to make a biggie out of this because they realized that the general council was a mess. They realized the general council was a mess, and as a result, they think that if they can come out here and have their pundits and surrogates talk about this issue, man, they stand a chance. That is what they believe. All right, so we have the Honorable Andy Williams on the line. Well, I'm calling him to connect. Good morning, the Honorable Andy Williams. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm good, man. Good for the time.
All right. I know you're always busy. You're always out there working hard. Tell us about how things are going on your end.
Well, things are going pretty well. We have been really working on the project Build Back Better, very hard. About 2 weeks ago, we had about 47 people that was on the list that we had contracts for, that we had builders identified to build, to help. As we speak now, we just added our next 47 to the list again. So we have about 87 houses within the region of St. Patrick's that will be worked on. Our team went to do evaluation again. When I say evaluation, the evaluation was done. We got the names of the people that needed help. So my team went out to look at the land and everything to make sure that things are in place, so that when we assign a contractor to the persons, that everything can go smoothly. So we are working. We were in St. John's last week, and we are working 7 days a week to ensure that we really assist the people who are in need and who needs the assistance in building back.
All right. And also the Molyneux project seemed to be going smoothly.
Yes, Kim. It seems to be going smoothly, and I let me just reiterate the fact that the bridge, the Molyneux Road, was built on piles, so it's not depending on the surface ground for its purchase or its stability. The stability comes from the bottom piles were dig around 30 to 40 feet underneath. That's where you have the hard surface of the ground. So the bridge is taking its purchase from that. So the soil that is moving around the top of the bridge or so, that
Right.
stability of the bridge. Let me just reiterate that because some people are watching it. I saw on Facebook last night some people were watching it and started to cast negative comment, but I don't think they understand exactly how the road was built. The road was built exactly how bridges and so are built on the sea. It is
Yes.
stable, but it depending on the pile that is dig underneath the ground and
Right.
that is in contact with the hard surface to keep it stable.
Yeah, and the
Yes.
piles they're about 30 feet long. Right? And it's about 100
Yeah,
piles.
yeah, it's a lot of piles. So
Yes.
listen, can I could tell you that we had container trucks passing on the Molyneux Bridge.
Yes.
My van drove there last week. We drove from one side to the other,
Yes.
and the bridge is stable.
Beautiful.
So just yeah, man.
Yeah, but tell us about the temporary teachers and that issue, because that seemed to be the current issue that the NNP is pushing. We know why they are doing that, because the
Right,
general council that they only recently had turned out to be a wreck for them, and the people are
right,
talking about it how they were so disappointed with the
right.
entire package of the general council and what was said. So they want this issue to be current. But tell us about the temporary teachers. How many teachers, how many temporary teachers, and why do they call them temporary teachers?
Right. Well, the last information I got was about 25 or so teachers that we are talking about. Right. They are temporary because from time to time teachers will go off on leave, right, for various reasons. And when they go off, you have to get someone to replace them. So that's why you have the teachers now are being temporary. They are replacing teachers that are on leave or somewhat of the other, right? For some reason, um, also. So that's why you have the teachers now replacing them, and they are called temporary teachers. In this case, you have whenever the contract is up, the contract has to go down to the Public Service Commission, that's PSC, for renewal. And Kim, this situation has been happening now. It's not just happening. It's been happening since when I was in school. It was happening. Since when I left school and some of my comrades was teaching, it was happening. Right. So what happened is that the Ministry of Education will have sent down the information and so to PSC in June, and the Ministry of Education only got it back last week, Thursday or Friday. And since they got it back, they have been working very hard to ensure that the teachers have gotten paid. As a matter of fact, as we speak, some have gotten paid already, right? We have an issue now where the finance officers and so in the Ministry of Education are working overtime to ensure that the teachers and so who should have gotten paid before that they will get paid this week. So the Ministry of Education is doing their best to ensure that the teachers get paid. And it's not a case where they did not care. It's a case where they could not act before the information was given to them from the Public Service Commission. And it's a process that needs to be followed.
And and,
So
and
the
people
one,
need to also know that the Public Service Commission is an independent body. So it's not
yes,
that
it
the
is.
government could pick up some phone and say to them, do this and do that and do it now.
No, we are not supposed to do that. We are not supposed to do that. And not making excuses, Ken, but the month of July was a kind of difficult month for everybody, right? And I know we would have kind of been a little off track, some way or the other. So the ministry did what they had to do in June to send down the information to PSC, right? PSC gave them back just Thursday, Friday. So no, listen, let's look at it logistically, right? Yes, I know, Kim, that we want teachers to get paid. I know for me, if I get paid, I make a noise. I know that, right? And that's what the normal person will think, right? So we understand that. But the whole fact is that it was beyond the Ministry of Education, nothing that they could have done with all the information. So that's why not that they have the information, or they are working over time to ensure that teachers really get paid. And some information went to the bank yesterday, so some teachers would see it in their account today or tomorrow, right? And then the others came, we trying to see how we can rectify the situation before the end of the week. Today, I'm meeting with finance, I'm meeting with the Ministry of Education. Let's come together and let's see how we could do some miracle to ensure that everybody get paid. So we are working. And the Minister of Education, he has been pushing very hard also, right? I've been in contact with him. We have been talking about this issue over and over and over. And, and he too really wants the teachers to get paid. So it's not a case where anyone is holding back the process or doesn't want the teachers to get paid. We are working hard within the confinement and within the situation that we are in now.
So long and short, it's a system, it's a process.
Yes, it's a
Right.
process. Listen, the Ministry of Education cannot do anything with all the information coming back to them. So know that it came back to them. They are working hard to ensure that the teachers get paid, right? So, but listen, okay, let me just say
but
this, right?
hear this. The rumors out there, you have some people who saying over 200 teachers, over 50 teachers, over 70 teachers have not been paid. Is that?
Well, that's not the case. That's not the case. Let me just say that's not the case, right? And sometimes we have to be careful who we listen to, because some people may promote certain things based on their agenda, right? So when it comes to the union, listen, you cannot follow the union because the union have to stand up for the teachers. They have to stand up for the teachers, right? So there's nothing that you can follow the union about. If I'm in a union and I'm gotten paid and I go to the union, they're supposed to try their best to rectify the situation for me. But this situation is not a new situation. Situation. Kim, listen. When teachers most time that they just start to work, you will hear them saying, "But I have to work 3 months before I get paid." I work 2 and 3 months before I get paid. That's normally how it is. That's the system. And yes, we know we have to change it, right? And it's been there for a long while, and we know that we have to do something to try and change the system so that people can get paid faster. We understand that. But for this situation, it's not abnormal. That's like the normal thing that happens, right? Not saying that it is right. I'm not saying that's what it's supposed to be, but that has been the way for the last maybe 30 how much years, right? So, but the main fact is that the Ministry of Education is working really hard. The finance officers and so, SU and so are working hard. Know that they got the information last week, Thursday and Friday. They are working hard with the Ministry of Finance to ensure that teachers get paid this week.
No, I am happy that you cleared up this, because some people believe that it's a new system and NDC could just change it like that. There are some people who are actually of that belief. But it's an old system, and that is how the process works. They would, Ministry of Education will prepare what they have to prepare, send it to DPA, then DPA going to send it back to them, then they send that down to a Public Service Commission, then they have to wait for it, then it comes back up, and then they have to process things, they have to go down to the Ministry of Finance. So it's a long, drawn-out process. While we all agree that they should be paid, and that is what they all are looking forward to. But we are talking about 2 fortnights they missed, not so? Is it 2 fortnights? Because school just reopened.
Right, school just reopened. Yes, so it's 2 fortnights. And let me tell you, it's a lot of work on the finance officers, right? Because now they have to, be working overtime to try and get this thing sorted. So imagine that you just got the documents on Friday, and you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have to be working hard to ensure that these people get paid. So the finance officers outside the normal scope of work have to be working, extra to try and resolve this. Now, but just be rest assured that we are working hard behind the scene to ensure that the teachers get paid. The SEO, the PS, the minister, the finance officers, we are working hard. But some people don't understand the system, so they may be fooled by some other people who understand the system and trying to make political advances on this. But even in the last administration time, Kim, it's the same thing that has been occurring over and over. And if you ask the teachers, they will tell you that. There's no secret to that. So it is not something that is just happening under our watch. It has been happening for years. Again, we are not saying that it is right. We are not saying that it's the right thing, because people, when they work, you have to get paid. We understand that. But I'm saying we are working hard to rectify it. And going forward, we will try our best to see how we can bring an end to this, and and come up with a solution that will benefit the teachers in a holistic manner. And that is our aim.
Right, because that's important. It's very important. Okay, you see, the rumor mill is out there, And some on the other side, they're saying, well, it's not 25 teachers, it's 30, it's 40, it's 50, it's 60, it's 100. But you could imagine you having 20, 200, and 300 temporary teachers. That alone doesn't sound right, in my view. So you're saying
It
it's just
doesn't.
just above 25 or 26,
That's the
27 or
information.
so temporary
Right.
teachers.
And that's the info that I got from the Ministry of Education. Not right. So today, what we're going to be doing is that the minister is out, so I'll be, assisting. So what we're going to be doing is that we are going to be sitting down with the Ministry of Education, with the Ministry of Finance, and we are going to try to work magic to make sure that the teachers get paid.
Right.
Right. And that is what we are going to do. That is how committed we are.
Right.
At the end of the day, because we understand that when people don't listen, people have commitment, they have bills, they have everything. We know that, right? So that is why, Ken, we are really trying to make the effort, right? Today, I'm taking time from my schedule to ensure that we rectify this problem. The Minister of Finance is taking time to make sure that we rectify this problem. The PS, and so we are all, doubling up.
Because
the finance officers have to work overtime to make sure that we rectify this problem.
Yeah, because it's important, because people must understand the Public Service Commission is independent of government. So when these things go down to the Public Service Commission, and maybe through the Governor General or so, there can be some kind of, call made to the Public Service Commission to work faster, to do things faster, so that it would not rub off on government in such a way. Because while it's not new, it's not a new situation, but I am saying that the Public Service Commission must do more to get this thing done faster, so that the ministry will get it and that they can process these things, because they are temporary teachers. And when you're temporary, you need your little money coming in every fortnight, the time it's supposed to come.
Right. And let me just end with this, Kim, right? Now, prior to that, teachers had no problem in getting paid. Right? It's not a case where we don't want to pay or whatever it is. Every month we pay. Right? So the Ministry of Education have been paying teachers on a monthly basis. Okay? It is just this time, because of that situation where contract had to be renewed, and so I had to go to PSC. That is the only time when you have this issue. But prior to that, teachers had been getting paid on a timely manner. And listen, in the last administration, people were getting paid at the end of the month. Now people are getting paid every fortnight. Right? Every fortnight. So now even the payment process has been doubled, and people have been getting paid, and at the same time period, but in a more frequent manner. And there was no time, let's say, that teachers have been getting any, or they had any issues in getting paid. It's only because of the process that has to be followed now when the contracts have to be renewed. That is why now this situation here occurred. But we are working speedily. We are working our best. We are trying to work magic to ensure that we rectify the situation.
Yeah, and I hope those at the top within the ministries are looking at these things and seeing how they can, prevent those things from happening in the future. You see, because sometimes we kind of play blind eye to certain small things, right? Small matters. And it would just blow up in our face or in our faces. So I hope they would learn from such a thing, because we now understand that the Public Service Commission takes a long time to get certain things done, approve certain things. So it is prudent in the future that they send down these things way in advance, knowing that the temporary teachers have to be paid come September, come October, come November, come December. So maybe they would have to do it way in advance, months and months in advance, right? In going forward, I think that could avoid that.
It would take a collective effort, not just a PSC, but all of us together. Because remember, this system has been like that for years, and no one addressed it. So but we are not running from it. We are focused on trying to address the situation, because we understand that when it comes to salary, and so people's salaries need to get paid, right? And if someone's salary doesn't get paid, they can get,
yeah. I fully agree. Right. Hello? Hello?
Kind of weak.
Yes. No, I fully agree, but
will be addressing.
All right.
I'm the teacher. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Right, yeah. So we are committed and we will be doing our best. Today we'll be meeting the Ministry of Finance, Education. Everyone will be doubling up to see how we can rectify this problem as soon as possible.
And also prevent it from happening in the future.
Yes, and that's we will take it on a policy level. We tried on a policy level, we'll attack it from that aspect also to try and rectify the issue.
Yeah. Plenty love, man. Do what you gotta do. Blessings flow.
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you, Ken.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much, the
And-
Honorable Andy
but
Williams.
Ken,
Hey, sorry.
So I didn't. Did I tell the listeners good morning? Also, and did I say that, or are we going straight into the issue?
We know your head hot, man.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, NEC supporters and everyone. We love you. Stick by us. This government, we are doing our best. You know, we are the right choice for this country, and not the other side. They will do and try the best to try and destabilize things. Don't bother with them. We are focused and we are moving forward.
Oh,
So, Kim, have a blessed day.
plenty love.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you
Nice.
very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Andy Williams there. Just clearing up the air, providing some information, well, very important information to us. And I hope we are clearer now. It's clear, it's very, very clear to me that there is a need for the Ministry of Education in advance. 25 teachers, 30 teachers, 40 teachers, also 50 teachers, temporary teachers, have to be paid way in advance. They can submit that to the Public Service Commission with the contracts and everything like that, so that they would do what they're supposed to do, because the Public Service Commission seems to be very slow on certain things. And then it end up being a situation like what we have now. And mind you, it's not anything too difficult. And some people may want to blame the Ministry of Education, but I don't think you need to blame them, because they got that document and the go ahead from the Public Service Commission only this week. Or sorry, last week he said. No, Monday. Well, this week. Yes, this week. Monday, Ministry of Education, and then Tuesday, Ministry of Finance, they approve the payments and so on. So they will see the money in their account. They have, some of them may have already started seeing the money in their account. All right? So we are well on track where that is concerned. So again, kudos to the Honorable Andy Williams and the team. We wish them all the best. And look, we know what's going down. We're fully aware. The NNP is desperate. They want this to be the talking point, because the General Council was a real wreck, a real mess. The kind of insults and embarrassment thrown at Peter David publicly. I mean, the headlines coming out of the General Council was really bad for them. And the conduct of Keith Mitchell and so on, we know all of that. So they want this thing to be the conversation out there. They want it to be the conversation out there. But we believe in facts, we believe in truth, and hence the reason I spoke to the Honorable Andy Williams, because the Honorable David Andrew, he's out, right? He's out of state on government business. All right? So again, just give you a heads up. So folks, the people who are calling me now, please don't call me at this point in time. Hello? How can I help you? Yeah, don't call me around this time, please. All right? Nice. So let me at this point in time try to link up with the Honorable Philip Telesford. Try to link up with the Honorable Philip Telesford. All right? That's important. All right. The Honorable Philip Telesford. Yeah. So I am simply saying it is not a thing that anyone should blame the Minister of Education or blame the Ministry of Education in this case. But we would encourage them to be more proactive next time, to send in this stuff months in advance, because we realize the Public Service Commission is really that body that you cannot instruct to do anything. They work on their own timing. That is how the situation or the system is designed. They were appointed independently, so meaning that nobody could move them, nobody could change them. I don't know if the Governor General could do so. I stand to be corrected if the Governor General could do so. But generally speaking, when the Public Service Commission is appointed, they're appointed for a period of time. And they have union representatives on that commission. I know the chairman and another person comes from government through the appointment, as advising the Governor General on the appointment, but you have other people who are representing teachers, representing this union, that union, public workers union, and so on that commission. All right. But again, it's an independent body. It's a very independent body. But it needs to be doing things faster because it's making the government look bad. All right? Yeah. Yeah. Are good. So let me try to reach the Honorable Philip Telesford. Let me try to reach the Honorable Philip Telesford now. Because it's important. It's important for him to give us a little update on a number of things. All right. So let me try to reach him now. Good morning, the Honorable Philip Telesford. How are you doing, my brother?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well.
Right. Well, you sound so.
You sound like if you're on air this morning.
Yes, I'm actually live. Yes.
You're not easy.
Well, I call you seeking to hear from you because I know, as I said last night, the nurses and doctors, they're working hard, and no nurse, no doctor will leave home with the intention to make any patient worse, or they would not be happy to hear or see anyone in a worse off situation. All right, we heard about Damien, this gentleman who came from the United States to volunteer to assist in Carriacou. We know of what occurred. We know what occurred, and it's rather sad. But I know that the nurses and doctors are working very hard to make sure that he's well and to make sure that that he bounces back. Speak to us about that situation, though.
Okay, well, Kem, there's not much I can say, but firstly, maybe I can mention to you that the patient is doing well. He was admitted to the hospital on the 13th of September, and by my tally, today would be about the 19th day since he has been admitted to hospital. He suffered a fall, and as a result of that, had some head injuries. And so far, he has been recovering nicely. He was placed in intensive care for about 4 days. As a matter of fact, let me just admit to you that this particular case is one that has been top of mind from day one. And for the simple reason that he came in, to assist in the rebuilding efforts in Carriacou. And so learning about the fall, it really attracted my immediate intervention and interest. I must say that there has been quite a lot of chatter in the media, but our focus for the Ministry of Health and from the hospital perspective was that of the patient and the well-being of the patient. And you put it right, that no doctor, nurse will willingly set out to harm a patient or not to care for a patient. I admit that not everybody would administer care at the same level, but generally, I believe we have a good team of professionals, including our support staff, those who work in the background, to ensure that the services are administered properly. Because all of the equipment and all of the meals and everything that happens, even the sanitation, the cleaning, and all of these people who work in the background are key personnel that come together to ensure that the service delivery of the hospital is at its best, given our limited resources. So yes, the patient was in intensive care for about 4 days, thereafter transferred to the ward, and has been recovering quite nicely since that time. What is required in this situation is that the patient needs privacy. The patient need to rest and to continue taking the little medication that is being administered. And so far, I can tell you that there has been a tremendous recovery of the patient, and he need a constant prayer, he need a constant support, he need to be surrounded by his loved ones, and just positive energies need to be spoken over him. We need to keep praying for his speedy recovery, and I can assure you, based on the progress that has been made, every single day there is a new day of progress that we just need to continue to pray for him, lift him up, and support him with kind words and words of encouragement. And all is not lost. I think this has been a case that that tests the mettle of the health service in Grenada. Despite all the negatives, we were able to take this very fragile situation and turn it around for good. And I am very confident that in a couple of days, as a matter of fact, the patient is at a state now that if the family are willing, they can actually have him into the private homes and just care for him, because all that is needed right now is rest for him to have complete recovery.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for that update there. And I think a lot of people were waiting for that update, because as you rightly said, plenty rumors and plenty misinformation out there. And in recent times, and you may want to speak about that, in recent times, nurses and doctors have come under serious, verbal and I may dare say physical attack because of all the rhetoric and all the misinformation out there.
Yeah, sorry, I sort of missed you, I must admit.
No, I was saying
a call is coming in.
Yeah, no, I was
Yes.
saying that in recent times, and maybe you want to speak about that, in recent times, nurses and doctors have come under serious attack, verbally and I may dare say physically too, because of the rhetoric and all the misinformation out there from people with different agendas.
Yeah, well, Kim, you're right. And this one goes beyond politics. I mean, if people want to attack me, that's okay. I signed up for it. But when it comes to our staff at the hospital and at the clinics, we got to understand that these people leave their families at home. They make the selfless sacrifices to support healthcare in Grenada. Healthcare is something that is very costly. The government has limited resources, and this goes beyond which government is in power. There's limited resources as a people, and those who work in the health service are making a selfless sacrifice. Healthcare is a 24-hour, 365-day a year business. And a lot of times, there is little gratitude. I wish I can turn on the radio or television and hear of the testimonials of the miracles that are performed at the hospital. I wish I can hear of some of the great success stories, the dramatic recovery, the great surgeries that are performed at the hospital. But that is not what makes the news. What makes the news is emotionalism. What makes the news is that somebody is unhappy about a nurse or a doctor, so they go out and say all sorts of things. And mind you, the people who are really affected, they don't say a word. The patient are not the ones in the media. And they're the ones that are actually receiving care and most of the times recover. But they're not the ones outside there making a noise. And so somebody might pay a visit, spend a couple hours at a hospital. And I'm not talking about this particular case, I'm just talking generally. We need to understand that the more we beat down on our nurses and doctors and support staff at a hospital, it damages the courage and the enthusiasm and the desire of people to sign up to work in the health service. Right now, there is a shortage of nurses, a shortage of doctors. We need them. The country cannot survive without them. And so we have to be patient. We have to be tolerant. From a policy standpoint, the government is doing all in its power. We are making the investment. We are going to transform health, but we need the support of the general public. So beating up on our nurses and doctors, that certainly is not a solution. Let us focus on what is positive and what is good to uplift our system and to motivate our people to get up on mornings and face the hospitals. I mean, there are situations that patients find themselves in, and the average Grenadian cannot face it themselves, right? And so our nurses and doctors and support staff at the hospitals, they are and medical stations, they are the ones that have to face it. Sometimes family members abandon their loved ones at the hospital, and this is no joke. They abandon their loved ones at the hospital, and we have to find a place to accommodate these people. And let's be real, these are situations that family members turn their back on, but our healthcare workers are facing on a daily basis. So the most we can do as a people is try to encourage, try to support, try to lift them up, and pray for them and help them wherever wherever is needed.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much for providing us with that information there. We wish you all the best, and feel free anytime, to pop on by again to update us or to speak about anything that you believe the public needs to know about.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
All right, plenty.
Best wishes to you. All right.
Thank you. So that was the
All right,
Honorable
chaps.
Philip Telesford there. Again, thank you very much for providing us with that information. And I'm certain people are clearer now on this particular matter. We really wanted to bring the information to the fore because there's a lot of rumors out there, a lot of misinformation out there, plenty misinformation out there in the public. Because you see, the NNP strategy is to distract you. The NNP knows that the General Council, that meeting they had at the Trade Center, made them worse off in the public domain. People are seeing them differently. There is serious confusion, division, and infighting within the NNP. And we saw that played out on the public stage. So what they want to do is to jump on this issue and the other issues and make it political. Bring it into the political dirty mud. So they have people attacking the nurses. They have people attacking the doctors verbally and so on. They have people saying all kinds of bad things about the whole system, right? But remember, this system was there under the NNP. The same system that the NDC is working with in terms of Ministry of Education having to prepare what they have to prepare, send it to DPA, DPA send it back to them, then it goes to the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission take the grant time and fine time to look at it, and then the Public Service Commission would send it back to DPA, then send it back to the Ministry of Education. It's a whole process, a whole long process. And that is why some of the workers tend to get money late and certain things late, particularly those who are temporary workers. Those who are permanent, they don't have that problem. All right? So again, I'm happy that the two ministers clear up the air there, provide us with some really good information. All right? In terms of the school feeding program, I was chit-chatting with the Honorable Gloria Thomas. She was giving me a little update there too. Rice is scarce, for example. They only recently got rice on island. So, rice was scarce. They only recently got rice on island. And there are other things that were a bit scarce. So there are some schools who have a little shortage here, there, and everywhere. But they're making this thing up to seem as though they have nothing. But again, as I said last night, there is a need for more partnership with the community, with farmers, with fishers, so that they can help. There are a lot of wastage on farms. There are a lot of wastage around houses where you have things planted and bearing fruits. The wasting. If you have a good partnership with the community, they would bring that stuff to you in the schools. So there's a need for that, more partnership. But folks, We have to pull the curtain down at this point in time, or we started a bit late, but I think you got the substance out of the conversation. The Honorable Andy Williams spoke earlier. The Honorable Philip Tellisford came in after to provide us with some very important information, needed information. All right? So when those on the other side put out all the lies, all the misinformation out there, you can provide them with the truth.